The only way for me to keep you was to capture you, to take you, to tie you, to carry you over his shoulder and claim you as his. That was the grand design of these games. A set of games that make as much sense as dream logic or ancient mythology. In its inception, Artemis and Aphrodite finally came to an agreement. Not every maiden in this age remains so willingly, but the goddess of the hunt, Artemis, would not agree to let a man simply have his woman, even if the goddess of love, Aphrodite, deems them true lovers, perfect for each other. As mediator, Athena proposed another idea. Since numerous souls who were all but destined for each other and were only kept separate by distance should be given a chance. To appease Aphrodite, these men and women would be brought together to find each other in a maze-like magical wood. But to appease Artemis, no woman would be given to her man. Instead, he'd be forced to chase her, to catch her if he can, and to take her back to those golden pillars marking the forest entrance past beneath the arch, and into a luscious pavilion marked just for them. The goddess of love agreed. The goddess of the hunt was satisfied. But only if the girls are given a set of glyphs and spells to help escape him. Spells that you must use on him before you two leave the woods. That was the only way to prove to Artemis that the girls had indeed tried to escape the man before he captured them. Because for all their bickering and differing opinions, there was one thing that Artemis and Aphrodite agreed on both. Don't make it easy on him. But don't make it difficult. A silent promise whispered, he will keep the same promise to you. But he will catch you. Maybe. Most importantly, the men must not be overcome by whatever passionate enchantment Aphrodite puts on them. This enchantment will help them be persistent, but they must capture their prize with a sober mind. No other influence. For that is how they will demonstrate that they have taken their prize. Their love, not their lust. Demonstrate their absolute control. First with themselves. Only a golden cord of rope or a set of golden chains could subdue a girl blessed by the goddess of the hunt. The gentlemen were fitted with either form-fitting leather to help them navigate without anything getting caught on the shrubs and bushes, or spell traps, with silk clothes and either bared arms, open chests, or bared shirtless altogether, to help them breathe, of course. And finally, the strength and ingenuity of Hercules was bestowed upon them. A man who completed each of his labors not by brute force alone, but by resourcefulness. The games begin. Amidst your wandering through the woods, shrubs, and over the creeks, through the trees, on a hunch, you feel a sense to cover your tracks, even leaving a small glyph enchantment on the tree behind you. What was this one? Disarm? Once cast, the enchantment couldn't be cast again. It seems each cast only has one use, so that's how Artemis knows that you tried. Then you hear it, a great horn blowing. The men are in the maze. Beasts unleash, predators on the prowl, hunters seeking the prize. Who will be yours? Which one? What will he look like? Be like? Will he have green eyes? Blue? Brown? Tan skin, or will his skin be fair? Will his hair be light or dark? Will it be soft to the touch? Will his touch be soft? Or will it be rough? Will he let you get away the first time you're caught? No. You won't be caught. Not unless you want to. How fast will he be? How strong will he be? Still, the thoughts race. They said he'd be your perfect match, but what could that mean? The anticipation is overwhelming. Equal parts glee and equal parts tension. What will he be? Distant bushes ruffle. Quick as a rabbit, you dart behind a tree. But off in the short distance, the man you see creating that noise is not yours. He searches for another. He looked quite nice. Very cute even. But not quite your fit. Another ran marching past, strong, quick, determined. He had found his mark, and off she went into the fog, squealing with excitement, giggling as her pursuer huffed to keep up. Suddenly, a silent hand grabs you, spins you around, snatches both your hands together, clasps them tightly behind you, and presses you firmly up against the tree. There you see him. Your man. Heaven almighty. He is a dream. Past his appearance, a warm surety calms your doubts. For only a moment you are no longer in the maze, and he is not chasing you. A dozen lifetimes flash before you. Alternate lives with him? Possible futures? All of these thoughts had details both foreign and familiar. They were desires you both shared. They were fears you both vanquished. And at the center of it all, a safe haven. Though he holds you firmly, this man means you no harm. Deeper into his eyes you discover the imposing exterior hides a softness at his core. And then the thoughts fade, and you return to the maze, your back pressed against a tree, his arms trapping you on either side, with one hand of his grabbing both of yours by the wrists behind you. His hands are large, the palms rough and meaty, so large they fit around both of your wrists, like rope without ties. As you wriggle your hands, his grip tightens, yet not enough to hurt. Perfect control. He has you locked, pinned, helplessly in place. Caught, but not yet captured. He does not restrain you. You see no glimmering ropes tightening, no golden chains twinkling in his hands, not a single binding in sight. A tight hand firmly closes over your mouth. As a deep, melodic voice, one beautiful just as it is frightening, commands you, "Don't fight me, or I'll kiss you." You hold back laughing. Did he really say that? Or is all of this magic in the air just playing games with you? Or is he playing games with you? The look in his eyes is sharp and piercing, staring deeply into you. And yet, there it is. That faint hint of softness caressed at its center. His hand lets go of your lips, sliding down before grabbing your face tightly, the rough calluses pressing into your soft skin. His hand is so large, it nearly grips your chin and cheeks both, even holding your neck. He could cup your face in his powerful hands with little effort. Just another inch down, and he could wrap his hand all the way around your sweet neck before claiming you as his. But he holds your face into his gaze. Heavy breathing builds up in his chest. "Be still," he says. You freeze in place. "Good girl," he says again. With his eyes locked on you, he says, "You are mine now. My little pet. You are my little prize now. Look at me, my little captive." You spy him patting around his belt as he speaks, as if searching for something with his loose hand. And then you see it. He doesn't have his rope or chains. A short distance behind him, a coil of rope rests beneath a tree. Beneath the disarming glyph you left behind you. The excitement is almost palpable. My girl, he calls you. My captive. But his captive has another glyph she can use. Dryad's Door. A spell that helps you melt into a tree you touch, like a dryad, and reappear on a different side. As he turns his head toward the missing coil of rope, vanish. You disappear into the tree. As he looks around quickly, you reappear on the other side. His meaty hand swipes out to grab a hold of you again, but is just out of reach, missing you by the hem of the white robe you wear. Off into the woods you run, turning back as you go, just to see him hastily retrieve his binds. And the chase begins. All across the woods, the chase continues. Time after time, he'd nearly have you, only to just miss you, or for him to have you for a moment, helpless in his grip, trapped beneath his paws, his prize ready to take. Once, as you turn around the corner, the path ends. Trapped, cornered, a dead end. Got you, he growls beneath breaths, wrapping muscular arms around you. Are you going to be a good girl and come with me? He asks. Or am I going to have to tie you, carry you back myself? You already know the rules, and so does he. What he does not know was your next trick. With a cheeky smirk, his nimble prey vanishes into a puff of flowers left clutched in his hand, only to reappear moments later, again, just close enough for him to see, yet too far away for him to... Your laced hooded veil he just barely manages to grab, taking hold of a sash that ties the cloak in place. As he pulls on this sash, it tightens around your neck, as if pulled on a leash and collar. He pulls this makeshift leash again. This might give him a few ideas for later, but thoughts perhaps for another time, as you hastily release the hooded veil, break free of your leash and collar, and escape. In his eyes, fluttering away like a little dove. Another time, he wrestled you to the ground with a lasso secured snug around your wrists, presses them above you. Struggle for me, he says. Come on, pet. We both know you can do better than that. It occurs to you he doesn't know the rules you have to follow. In his mind, he thought you only kept getting away because you didn't fight him, as Artemis demanded. If he doesn't capture you, then he can't keep you. And he doesn't want to lose you. You can't be a captive, though, if you come willingly. But he doesn't know about your magical charms. And so, the escape. Every capture and escape wrought a different approach from him, and each one brought you closer and closer to being pacified under his hand, wrestling you to the ground, pinning you down, pressing you up against a wall, trapping you, gripping your hair as if the source of your power. It is your crown, after all, securing a collar and leash to you, kissing your neck, even biting a bit. One after another, until you had used all of your spells. Finally, he captures you. And so you're left with the one magical charm you have left, and the only one you could use as many times as you want. Your own charm itself, to charm him. After all, he's already enamored by you. You may not even have been using that charm at all. The sound of your voice, a sweet melody to his ears. Your touch, an intoxicating elixir he must drink in. Your face, your hair, even the scent of your skin tantalizes his senses with near maddening vigor. But he holds himself still, in control, dominating. Looking up at him as he ties you up, hands behind your back, rope across your chest, beneath your bosom, around your shoulders, each tied snug. Then around your legs. You look up. Maybe if he lets you go, you'll offer him a kiss. On the cheek, on the lips. You know he'd love that. And so, he gives you a few options of his own. I can carry you over my right shoulder, or my left, or I can carry you princess style. What will it be, slave? What does my good girl want? Your mouth hangs open. The audacity of this man. Before a word of protest could escape your lips, he wraps a magical sash around your mouth, sealing your lips and silencing you completely. All tied up, gagged, and helplessly his, he picks you up and throws you over his shoulder. No more tricks to cast. He makes his way back to the maze's entrance. No more spells to cast, no more charms to use. You're done, or so it seems, as he carries you over his shoulder, bound hand and foot, tied and gagged. His newest, little prize, his one true sweet, his favorite little prey. You see those golden pillars and pass beneath the arch. A few more steps and into the pavilion you go. Sweet aromas fill the air. A cozy sensation washes over you, wraps itself around you like a soft silken blanket or a tight silken binding. Down onto the bed he throws you, firmly, softly, and then all at once he climbs on top of you. Lying on your back, hands bound behind you, feet secured together, lips tucked away behind that gag, you look up at him as he climbs on top of you, muscles glowing seemingly from the light above. This is your prize, it seems. This is not just his victory. A sizable palm slides from your waist, up your middle, past your chest, placing itself ready to close around your sweet neck, and then it removes the gag. Off comes the gag. Before you could even say a word, your lips are sealed shut, lips against his. The warm breath of his heavy panting smells of sweet cologne, like a natural manly musk. He goes in again. One, again, and again, and again. Each kiss is more intoxicating than the last. You are an addiction to him, but he just pulls away enough to say one more time, "Well, my sweet prize, it looks like I've won," or so he believes. But you hold the laughter in, biting your lip. The sight is enough to drive him wild yet again. He presses his fists onto both sides of your head, gripping the sheets, staring into you intensely, bright, beautiful teeth shining, a heartwarming smile, and at the same time, a pearly set of fangs ready to feel every part of your sweet skin. As you part your lips to speak, shh, a finger closes over your lips, replaced by a thumb, gently tugging your lower lip, as his hand caresses and grabs your sweet face. You are mine. His voice overcoming with the primal energy from before, welling up inside him. My pet, he says. My prize, my toy, my slave, my... And then his voice softens again. And for a moment you see past the primal energy. Past the growls and grunts and testosterone pulsing through his body. You see it. Pure heart from before is still there. My joy, he says. My one. My love. Once more his lips part your own. Once more, he tastes every part of your sweet, delicious mouth. You look up at him, calm, tied, not entirely tamed, pacified, content. Maybe the game is over. He kisses your neck, your chest, back up to your face. Maybe the game is over. But it doesn't matter. After all, you do have a life together. There's always next time.